Despite being disconnected from the rest of the country by the mighty Essequibo River, the region has been tied to Guyana's history and the struggles for freedom, with the Damon statue standing as an enduring symbol. The region is known mostly for sprawling rice lands, mega coconut farms, and some of the most scenic blackwater lakes in all of Guyana. But this is a region eager to diversify and tap into other areas of development and shake off the title it has of being the Cinderella County. A reliable internet service offers it all those possibilities. That's where eNetworks comes in, taking up the bold step to expand its network. eNetworks is Guyana's only locally owned and operated telecommunications provider. Expanding its network to the Essequibo coast involved an investment of $1.2 billion to land a fiber optic submarine cable. It is the first major investment since the liberalization of the telecommunications sector. The massive network investment introduces substantially more reliable and faster internet services to Essequibo, which has suffered from limited and subpar connectivity for decades.
We saw that there was practically no service here, no proper infrastructure, no good build-out, and we took it on. And it wasn't an easy task because even when we were doing the submarine cable in the river, the foreign contractor was introduced to the mighty Essequibo because it was a project that was very difficult.
You have to be nervous with these projects. And it is a difficult project, but we're getting the support of the consumer, businesses here. Everyone is giving us the support, and even government is doing their part, so that helps a lot.
The ways in which unreliable internet service has hampered development in the Essequibo region are numerous. In the banking sector, for example, unreliable service could mean that ATMs go offline, and if internal systems go down, it leaves customers waiting and forces the bank to scramble for alternative options.
We've been using eNetworks for the past 3 months, and in that time, we found the service to be satisfactory for our operations, and we've had no downtime.
eNetworks looks to support the Essequibo region's financial, insurance and entrepreneurial industries by providing access to advanced services to the cloud and other platforms to enhance productivity and efficiency.
I moved back to Essequibo about 10-12 years ago, and since then I've been starved for proper internet, and not only me but everyone that I know, as a residential need and a commercial need. And what happens is if we don't have the proper internet, there's a bottleneck. It's been a technological bottleneck, and we can't expand beyond a certain size. We can't adopt new technologies because of that technological bottleneck. So I'm hoping that eNetwork releases that bottleneck and that we can go and explore other options. We can do call services. We can connect to our businesses. Those of us that have multiple locations, we can connect. We can get connection to the outside of Essequibo, which is important because we do a lot of sourcing of materials, equipment, services.
It's not just businesses. Regular households have been clamoring for a reliable internet service.
I hear people complaining about the internet is slow and things, and I hear eNetwork was coming down to Essequibo, so I think I wait for when they was coming.
Good.
And it didn't go in vain.
At the village of Sodi, where the main hospital is, we meet Nirmala Singh. She was the first to sign up for the service. Reliable connectivity allows her to help the needy through a charity service.
Like I wanted to form a WhatsApp group so I could chat with some children. Not all of them will have internet, but some of them I could get contact with. So that's the main purpose of it.
It's not just her charity work. Simple entertainment is now guaranteed with her eNetwork service.
Well, I like law and order, so that's the main thing. I could look at that all day. So sometimes I have cable, but sometimes it goes off. So now I have my internet, my own internet, and it connects to the TV, so I could look at law and order all day.
With the new services, eNetworks aims to connect more persons to the transformational power of the internet.
It's natural that any kind of sector that you have would need technology to drive it into the next phase, and also to allow for diversification and allow the region to grow. When we go to the regions, we try to get there with the same quality of service as Georgetown. So every product that you will get in Essequibo, Mbps, and there are more areas that we're opening, it's going to be the same experience as Georgetown.
eNetworks attributes its motivation to swiftly conclude the Essequibo investment as a direct response to President Irfan Ali's challenge to the sector earlier this year to improve connectivity to Essequibo.
Traditionally, in terms of investments, I think it's very natural, very common. People go to where we have the mass population centers, which traditionally Georgetown. But again, a lot of opportunities present themselves in these unserved areas. And it can create opportunities with some of the plans that we have. It can create opportunities for other spin-off businesses that can come to Essequibo and the likes.
As the only Guyanese telecoms provider, the company is immensely proud to have answered the President's call, expand its service to Essequibo.
eNetworks is, and by the stretch of what we do and what we offer, is the #1 telecommunication provider in Guyana. If you check, our services are on par with any first world. We've brought 5G, we've brought fiber optic technologies, and if you look at the speeds and the pricing, it's making Guyana competitive on a global basis. And that is where the country needs to head in terms of globalization and all these scenarios that are being created where you have to compete with places that may seemingly have better economies of scale. But usually in those circumstances, you have to work smarter. And technology can be a companion for that.
Credit has to be given to Vishuk for bringing this project to us. And you know, if I go back a little bit, Continental has a history in Guyana. This is our 62nd year. And with that, we always strive ourselves on giving back to the Guyanese public. We control market share for Turganol paints. So we wanted to do something, and with eNetworks we can bring technology. You know, we started in Georgetown, we got Mbps, and now next step, you know, we've had a lot of requests from here. It is a big project, but at the end of the day, we want to support all Guyanese businesses. And especially today, I felt really good listening to some of the customers here about their kids. And that makes a big difference. Now they can learn, they can, you know, get on and do research and all of that. Before it was very, very difficult for them to do that. So that kind of justifies the project.
Vishok Prasad, the Chief Executive Officer of eNetworks, has noted that the company's faster and more reliable connectivity will enable Essequibo residents to access more online options for socio-economic development, remote learning, entertainment, e-commerce, collaboration, and connecting family and friends.
Just a drive up and down the coast, we can see that it's a heavy agriculture sector. We can see that it's a traditional Guyanese retail in rural, where you've got large hardware stores, groceries, everything housed in one. So supply chain, they can communicate with suppliers, they can exchange images, they can have face-to-face video calls without having to transit the Essequibo River and the ferry and everything else, or internationally, they can expand their reach. So there's that communication that comes with reliable connectivity. So that would be one. And then let's look at just the agriculture sector. At the end of the day, to be competitive on price and bringing your produce in, you got to be able to leverage better training, better technology, better methodology. And using the internet to access training and videos and research and suppliers and everything else, that comes with being able to do it in a reliable, fast, efficient way. And that's the proposition that's there for just looking at two sectors. And I think enough have been said on what it could do for education. So on the education side, obviously you can do so much more because there's libraries of information there. So I think that would be what's there on the table that could be had if we connect and use this efficiently.
eNetworks offers businesses the fastest internet access available in Guyana and at lower pricing. The company's network is also widened to cover more of the country's densely populated areas, with continuous expansion to new areas almost weekly.
Guyanese companies can do anything they want. They just have to, you know, put things together and, you know, have the good ideas, and, you know, the financing will come. You know, no one thought this project was possible. You know, everybody said Guyanese cannot do it. We've proven them wrong.
Reporting for the newsroom, Neil Marks.